Okay, so if you're running a for-profit business and you want to grow, you have an idea about what size you want to be, your profitability, etc., then the question comes, how are you going to resource that business? And do you resource it for what you're doing today, or do you look at a plan for the future and then resource the business based on what you think it's going to do in the future? And it's a tricky one because you'll have investors and shareholders and people who want bullish projections about what the company's going to do. And so they may want you to spend and to grow very quickly. And the risk of doing that is that you end up loading the business up with cost for future aspirational sales that you think may occur. And like I said, there will be pressure for that to be the case. The preferred approach, I think, would be to have a view as to what size you want the business to be and understand what sort of level of profitability that would be, so to create an avatar of the business in the future and work backwards from that point, and then to add the resources as required. And you would create a critical path for the company, what is absolutely necessary to get it to certain points, and then you plug in the resources that are required at that point. What you don't do is say, we're a £5 million business and we want to be a £20 million business, so therefore we need a sales team of this size, we need facilities of this size, and you plug it all in from day one, and then you have a huge time lag on achieving the sales and the profitability that's going to support that sort of cost. So rather than do that, like I said, you would have a critical path and you would have stage gates in there with criteria and thresholds, at which point you add people in, you add resources, you add assets into that, and they may have to sort of meet certain criteria to make sense. It's also very important that you understand the lag time and the lead time of taking those resources in. So if it's equipment, if it's factory equipment, if it's very specialized, for example, there'll be lead times on actually sourcing that, getting it commissioned and getting it up to full speed. If it's people, depending on what sort of roles they're coming into, are they going to be up to speed immediately, or are they going to have a lot of training before they can actually sort of hit their straps and become fully productive? So in sales roles, for example, I've seen specialized specification sales roles, relationship sales, where individuals won't come up to speed for sort of 12, 18, even 24 months. So you plug them in, that recruitment cost is immediate. Cost of feeding and supplying and resourcing that individual is immediate, it's from day one, but they may not then deliver results. So your cash flow projections need to reflect that. And I would have different scenarios, a bullish scenario, I'd have a what if scenario, so upside, and a sort of stress scenario as well. So you would constantly coming up with a stress case where you can actually see what would happen if this didn't work out as you would like. So it requires very careful consideration to build the company this way, rather than just to go straight in and have an idea of what the future is going to look like and resource it immediately. But it's far safer. I think that investors will understand that that's going to safeguard the future of the company and allow you to grow sustainably, rather than being too bullish and getting yourself into a very difficult cash flow situation in the short term. That's just my preference. If you want to discuss it any further, drop me a DM. I'll leave that with you.